Hi, bigenderdotnet viewers. My name is Brin. I'm the owner and administrator of bigenderdotnet. I have been chosen to kick off the first week of videos, and I got to pick the topic too. So the topic I picked is, what is bigender to you, or what does it mean for you to be bigender? And I talked a little bit before about how there's different flavors of bigender, but for me personally, what it means to be bigender is that I am free to explore who I am as a woman and who I am as a man. And I do that through two distinct presentations, as Brin and as Paul. There's a video of each side of me on the further back on the channel. But those presentations are really just vehicles for me to interact with the world and be interacted with as a man or as a woman. So I find it affirming or I don't know, pleasant to be treated as the gender that I'm feeling at a particular given moment. So presentation allows me to get that sense of rightness. Oh, I didn't realize those boxes were visible. But I have defined dysphoria as the sense of wrongness, of being treated different than I identify inside. It feels like being trapped to me in somebody else's expectations, and I find that to be a really painful experience. And you know, part of who I am, my identity, is male and female, and so that comes through as bigender in that if I'm being treated as one that I don't want to be, that I'm not identifying as at a given moment, I get dysphoric. It's painful. It's panicking. It feels overwhelming pressure to be something that I'm not. And I've had that on both sides. So I've been out as a woman and being treated as a woman. That's true. I've been out and read as a woman, because that happens to me all the time. I get ma'amed, missed, regardless of how I'm presenting. Sunburn. Regardless of how I'm presenting, and sometimes that's really bothersome, especially if I think I'm looking particularly butch that day. It doesn't come through to people, and people often read me as female, and while, honestly, the majority of the time, I'm fine with that. It makes me feel satisfied. I don't know, I get a sense of satisfaction from it. Probably because, to me, it means that I'm doing a good enough job at feminizing myself that comes through. Or that I have chipped away all of the false masculinity that I put on over the years, to a sufficient degree that people are seeing, that femaleness when they look at me, which, is important to me. But sometimes, I'm out as a guy because I feel like a guy, and I get missed and ma'amed, and then I have to drop into my boy voice. And then, I get the, oh, sorry, sir. But, I get misgendered in both presentations. Less so as a female in the female presentation, because I tend to be very feminine in my female presentations. So there's a much smaller chance of people sirring me when I'm in a skirt, or heavy eye makeup, or anything else. But that's the sense of dysphoria of everybody treating you one particular way when you're just trying to cry out that this isn't me, this isn't what I look like. So that sense of dysphoria is what taught me bigender. That's what told me that I'm bigender, because if I was just getting dysphoria in a male presentation, when I was not, I never got manned, and it didn't matter how, if I only felt that satisfaction when I was presenting as a woman and getting treated as the proper gender, then, it would be a pretty good indicator to me that I'm transsexual. But that's not the case. I have a problem being read female when I feel male and getting that same sense of displacement and of not fitting into the world the way that trying to fit into the world in a particular shape that doesn't match the body you're trying to push into it. A sort of square peg round hole thing, and I get that, on both sides. So, I think cis people could understand dysphoria if, for an entire day, everybody called them by the wrong gender pronouns and treated them exactly as if they were the opposite gender, or a gender different from what they're presenting. And it's a disorientation, it's a displacement. You're not in the place in the world where you think you are, and so, it's confusing and it's painful and it's hard to deal with. So, the fact that I get that as a male, as female, that's what it means to be bigender to me. I'd love to give it a more positive definition, but people kind of shrug when you say, well, I feel like a man and a woman inside. The real definition is that I get dysphoria both as a man and as a woman. And I get euphoria both as a man and as a woman. So, that tells me that I'm doing something right if I can hit that euphoric, euphoric is hard, it's just the opposite of dysphoria, comfort, orientation, placement, if I can hit that in a given gender presentation, then that means that I'm on the right track when it comes to figuring out my own identity. So that's what bigender means to me. So we are going to have, let's see if I can get the order up here for you. So we're going to have Sydney tomorrow, I think. Cindy Tinker tomorrow. Bigender Dragon on Thursday, and Bigen Princess Sam on Saturday. So we should have somebody. We shouldn't have 2 days without bigenderdotnet person online. So or on this channel. So please do come back. We'll learn what bigender means to Sydney and Mir and Sam, and we'll learn together. So welcome again to bigenderdotnet. Please subscribe. Please share these videos. Someone's already said that they're going to use this topic, the videos generated by this topic, to aid in getting the concept across to people that they're having difficulty explaining to. So hopefully this video or one of the other ones hit the right notes. And I do still want to have a representation of multiplicity on this channel as well. So if you belong to a multiple system and you collectively identify as bigender, please do send a note to our YouTube message up there and let us know. And maybe we can work together, and you can help explain that very underrepresented on bigenderdotnet side of being bigender. well, definitely underrepresented here on the channel. The forum, which you should be coming to join if you don't already belong, is www.bigenderdotnet/forum, and join the conversation there. So I'm going to cut it short because now I'm rambling and it's 10 minutes long. Yeah, so stay tuned for more Bigender.net contributors. Good night.